Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Strat Gamer here, providing you with a new Transport Fever 2 episode. It is time to move to our second mission in Chapter 1, Coffee and Colonialism.
Tropical jewel in the midst of the Indian Ocean, conscientiously administrated by meticulous Dutch bureaucracy. The year is 1870, and the colony is undergoing a transformation. Recently, individuals have been allowed to lease farmland and manage plantations. The fertile land offers ideal conditions for exporting a multitude of colonial goods, off on the way to an exotic experience.
Okay, so let's get started. As always, feel free to use the chapter functionality to go directly to the gameplay. We will, of course, do the bonus task, and I'll try to show you tips and tricks along the way. Okay. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't hesitate to do so now by clicking on the subscribe button and the bell so that you can be notified of any new episode and you also support the channel. And also don't hesitate to share any thoughts, feedback, suggestions you may have. It could be tips that I've missed or questions that you have about this mission or another missions or requests for something else. I'm always keen to hear about viewers' thoughts and feedback. We are in the Indian Ocean, the island of Java, and we're gonna talk about coffee, it seems.
The Dutch East Indies.
That's pretty.
Surely the most exemplary colonial empire under the sun. With luscious fruits and cheap labor in abundance.
That's not very nice.
You act on behalf of the colonial administration. A gifted talent in the art of engineering, you have been appointed to modernize the local transport sector.
Okay, so we see trucks.
Task to the satisfaction of the crown. If you do, even the post as governor might be in store for you.
I wouldn't mind being governor of such a beautiful island.
Transport is a much sought-after service on this scarcely civilized island. Eating draft animals such as oxen is punishable by law. That's why the colonial administration has commissioned you to build a railroad so that the plantation business prospers. The delicious coffee is supposed to be transported from the fertile hinterlands to the facility near town for processing. Anyone set on building wisely and cheaply avoids unnecessary slopes. Perform the necessary surveying work.
Okay, that's a beautiful island. As you can see, there's a few volcanoes, and they are talking about the height of the line layers.
The route from the thriving plantation across treacherous terrain to the processing factory where the coffee fruit is husked.
So obviously you can see that, this is pretty flat, but as soon as you go over here, we can see also here the height, right? So it goes quickly, 150. Yeah, it's pretty stable, around 10 meters above the sea, all the way over here. There's also other mountains here, right? So you can use that to, of course, make sure that you are as stable as possible or flat as possible, because that will impact your speed, right? If you have a lot of speed, a lot of elevation, then your trains are gonna slow down. Then we can see here we have fruits, coffee plantation, and here this is transformed, this is coffee fruit and transform into coffee beans, and this coffee will probably be needed here, as we can see. So anyway, let's start by building a cargo station near the coffee plantation, and here we have already a train station, right? So obviously we want to build a train station too. So let's do that. We can build either this one or that one. One element could be to build a session like this here, because then you can sort of go also have another one here, but we could also have trucks going here, right? So what I'm gonna do is put this one, the terminal one. And then the tracks. As we said, it's good to make sure there's no elevation. And you can see the speed, right?
A depot is needed.
We need a depot indeed. Let's build it maybe here. Buildings. That may be a bit too close. Let's see. That's fine.
Purchase a complete train, including locomotive and freight cars.
So we need one locomotive. We have two choices. Let's do. So this one is at a bit more speed. Let's go with this one. And we need this one because we want to move around the fruits, coffee fruits, and this it for. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. And it's by one.
The coffee fruit can now be brought from the plantations on its way to further processing.
New line. Coffee fruit. Coffee fruit. Train. Okay. We can also put this here to wait for a full load. We can wait as long as we want and then deliver it. You can also choose to, if you want to be super safe, to do something like this, where you say you can't get anything except what I want, which is coffee fruit. So let's do that. The game is paused. Now we unpause the train. Oh, I forgot to put the train. My bad. We put the train on the coffee plantation. Okay, so that will now start delivering. As I said earlier, if you have any questions, thoughts, feedback, don't hesitate to share them in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Good thing is the coffee fruits is already being stocked. So it is, the first train comes in. Takes 16, so we could definitely have more than one train. You can follow it. You can see the speed in the bottom right corner is increasing. And this is obviously also it's an early train, right? So it's not gonna reach crazy speed, I think. As you can see, it's 45 with a full load. But at least 45 most of the way. It does need to accelerate at the beginning and at the end. No, it doesn't even need to slow down, almost.
What a superb railway.
So here it is, and we're just making money already.
With truly valuable services. Still fresh from the fields, the fruit quickly reaches the factory. From there, the colony's delightful coffee must be brought to the warehouses and offices in the port for export. That shouldn't be left up to the local laborers, no way. Too easygoing, too inefficient, too unreliable. Specially built stations are called for, so that the first-rate coffee makes it into town undamaged. If need be, stations that can be guarded against plundering hordes.
Okay. So we put the truck stop. They tell us to put it here, so we don't really have a choice. The good thing is, indeed, you can see this is white, right? If I put it too far, it's not white, it's not in range. This would have been fine too, but they just tell us to put it here. So let's do that. and then we need to deliver it, you know, over here. Right over here, you can go. I mean, this is the commercial buildings that do require this need, so that's great. Once again, you can see it also here with the trucks. So it's all this area here. And then we can put a truck unload. Or maybe they are going to force us to put a real one. I don't know. Yes, I think they're forcing us to put a real truck stop. That's not great because it's going to destroy. Except if I go. It's always two buildings. So anyway, let's just do it.
Ready to go. Nothing stands in the way of speedy transportation to the local seaport anymore. Send the freight cars of coffee on their way.
Well, we do need a depot. And create the route first. Okay. Call it coffee via truck. And then we're going to also do this, because that way we minimize the number of trucks on the road. And let's do the save for 4 vehicles. So let's do that. We select the road truck. We have a couple of choices. This is passenger, so no. Then we have this one. All 3 of these do transport, so that's great. Let's see, 20, 20. This one is a bit slower. The capacity of this one is also higher. I'm not sure covered or flatbed, but that's basically the same thing. And fire. And put them on the road.
Finds itself in a laudable position by sending processed coffee into town. To experience considerable growth, its products have to reach a clientele with money to spend.
Let's accept this bonus quest.
Several locals show an interest in learning the decidedly noble profession as locomotive engineer. A practice route for training purposes is needed. Meanwhile, certain signs are feeding horrible rumors about the indigenous tribe's diet.
2 small stations. So they're saying 2 small stations and a depot in this area. So let's go with maybe once again a cargo one. That's fine. But let's reduce it to 80. And I think it doesn't have to be big. No, can do it like this. It won't reach full speed, but that's fine because they are in training. Plus, oh, I made a mistake there. Sorry about that. Let's put it again. I can build also this next to it.
The correct way to drive the vehicle must be practiced first, so that potential passengers are not scared off right away. In the meantime, some hard-to-digest news reaches you. Your skilled worker is said to have fallen victim to a bloodthirsty tribe of cannibals.
That's not great. That's not great. So let's call this one test. Train. We need to buy a train. Seems to be just a locomotive is fine, so let's just buy this one. Let's send it on the test. And it's gonna need to do some road, but that's fine. Okay, so our first truck is going, it seems. And we can see this is I mean, it's called supply, but it's basically the demand for coffee of 43. If the town grows, then it will require more. We can also see there's bad traffic somewhere.
factory is working far above par, although it would certainly be capable of processing much more, virtually colossal capacities of coffee. You should weigh the idea of increasing the transport volume, because coffee from the colony is a commodity in great demand in parlours and salons on the continent. One train isn't enough to adequately supply the factory with coffee fruit. A passing siding is needed so that a second train can use the line.
Okay, so indeed we're going to increase, as I said earlier, there was definitely stock for more. Before that, let's just...
The locomotive engineer has returned safe and sound. While you pictured him in the stomachs of savages, he was having the time of his life in the virgin forest. Naturally, you can't tolerate misconduct like that, and regretfully have to fire the good man.
Ah, tough life, tough life. Anyway, so as I was saying, we can definitely put, more trains. And the first way to do that is only having one lines like this, but having a way where they can meet. And I'm going to show you that just now, where you do something like this.
The trains should wait for each other on the passing side.
Exactly.
This requires placing signals.
So we put one signal this way and one signal that way.
If the plant is to be used to its fullest capacity, another complete train is needed.
Yes, and there one thing you can do is just going to the route, select the train and duplicate it or clone it, as they say.
Wherever coffee production thrives, business and prosperity flourish too.
So you'll see
the port town of Surabaya has become a lively trading center for countless goods and services. All kinds of people from all corners of the island want to do profitable business here. That's why the colonial administration has commissioned you with setting up a passenger line from Semarang to Surabaya. Time to build a line which will soon link the key trading hubs in eastern Java.
Okay, so as I was saying before going there, let's see what's happening, right? There's only one line, but our two trains are working, because this one is going to stop over here, while then the other one's going to move there, and then they can both continue. Unless it's going to be a crash, who knows? Let's see. Okay, see, perfect. And now this one can start again. So that's a neat trick when you have just two trains, basically. As soon as you have more than two, then we're going to need to do something different. But anyway, now let's move into this. Is there a train? No, there's no train so far, so we're going to need to build that. Let's go into the train building. Let's do simple terminus stations. Maybe around here. And then similarly there. Let me also build that one right away, so it's done. And the tracks. Once again, you may want to be careful about the topology. As you can see, for example, here, we are digging into the ground, meaning it's going to cost us a bit. But at least it's flat. We could have make it even less expensive, let's say, around here.
The railroad has been completed. Curiosity runs high. Time will tell if passenger transportation really is a venture that's worthwhile.
Okay, so let's make this. Here, I'm not gonna put weight for it to be full, because we just need to transport things. So let's do that. We do need to buy one train, as always. And this is this time a passenger one that we need. Let's put two cars. Ooh, mediocre, that's not great. Let's see. This one has more power and everything. This is just super heavy, basically. Anyway, let's buy one and assign it to the passenger train line. Now we need to wait for that a bit. And while we do that,
build a prestigious residence that is unrivaled on the whole island.
okay, so we need to build a headquarter. If I remember correctly, no, I completely forgot where it is actually. Then remind me where it is. Not there. I completely forgot where it is. Oh, there. I knew it was hidden somewhere. Put it somewhere close to the city.
A truly attractive estate, but a veritable plague is spoiling all the fun.
I wouldn't say it's very attractive.
Rumor has it that a wise old woman knows how you can rid yourself of the snakes in your walls. She's supposed to be in Surabaya. The old woman says she doesn't know a thing, but you should try your luck with her cousin in Semarang, who has a knack for the art of snake charming.
Okay, so let's check here.
The snake charmer declared that you've probably angered the mighty snake goddess with projects. The snake priestess of Mount Merapi is the only one who could remedy the situation.
Let's find temples. As you can see, there's a number of temples on the map. These ones.
The priestess has spoken. The only way she is willing to call off her children is if you make a sacrifice to the great snake goddess. Coffee, the priestess prophesied, will be the sure thing to appease the goddess.
Okay, so we have new, let's say, need for coffee on top of this one here, which is pretty well served. Let's build a road first. We can go something like this. This is definitely strong elevation here. Okay. Now we can create a road. Line, sorry. Oh, I forgot. Sorry about that. We do need a train station. Okay, so add a station here. This is Coffee Temple. Once again, you just wait for load. Make sure we deliver. As you can see, there is one truck waiting. And why is it waiting? Is because we don't have any fruits coming in storage. So basically we may want to have even more fruits because we're definitely producing more, right? Like I can produce a lot more than that. But to do that, we'll need to improve this. And for now, they haven't really asked us to do that. So let's just focus on this. Which train depot is this? This one. Let's just buy like 2. Okay. So that should come quickly. Our passengers starting to be transported. We can't look at this here to know how many want to move. One thing to consider is, and this is around here, you have residents. Some are employed, some are unemployed. We should be able to increase, this, the number of people that want to travel. Also, if we have bus stations, but I'm not even sure. Yeah, we can do it. They're not really asking for it, but maybe we have time, so let's do it. I can show you that a bit. So for buses, here inside the city, you have this, which is a big station, but we don't need that. Like, let's just go with a few stops like this. We can have one that starts over here. Then maybe one that goes over here. Then we'll go this way, that way. Can also go to this place, and we just need a small road here. Close. Perfect. We do need also a truck. Sorry, a tram depot. Let's put it over here. I'm not even sure we actually have. Okay, there's actually no vehicles we can use, because this is just for your. Oh no, there's buses there. Sorry, my bad. Let's see if there's actually buses. I forgot. Yes, we can use this one or that one, which is steam versus horse. So this one has very bad emissions, pollution. So we can use this one. Maybe like by 5. I didn't make a road yet, so let's do that. We start here, go there, and there, there, there. So we're covering, sort of the whole city. I'm not saying it's perfect, but that will definitely increase our public service destinations. And then we just select those.
What a godsend. Your stylish residence is pleasantly snake-free again.
Oh, did I buy so many? Yeah. 2 buses. But we're almost already at 25, so that's fine. And this is probably definitely giving me money, but that's also taking from here, because our trains are not able to deliver as quickly as we need.
Uh-oh, it's rumbling in the island's interior. The mighty volcano Merapi threatens to erupt. A phenomenon like this wasn't reckoned with while planning the route. The natives claim that someone has probably angered one of their gods. Whatever the case, if the precious coffee fruit is supposed to be transported by rail in the future too, then it's imperative that something be done. It seems worthwhile to remove the infrastructure, if it's not supposed to be buried under ashes and lava.
Okay, so this is a volcano we need to be careful of. So let's do that, and we need to destroy basically all of this. Including this. Oh, there's a vehicle in the way, which is bad because the vehicle, I'm gonna need to send the vehicle first, but it can't go, so I have to sell it anyway.
To enable coffee production to continue making progress in future, the route ought to be relocated to an area where it can be assumed that the expected eruptions will leave it intact.
So let's put it over here. And let's also put trucks. I mean, we have a route here, but the factory is over, all the way over there. So let's try to see if we can just build like this without decreasing too much the speed and all of this. We can make a tunnel. That's not great. Let's just make this and then turn around. It's fine.
The danger has been averted, and transport can be resumed. What's more, the volcano is showing signs of calming down again. Despite that, maybe relocating the route was still a wise move.
Okay, so now we need to re-add this station. We also want here to wait. You can also rename those stations, you know, to make it easier for you to find things. Like this is coffee food station. Is starting again, and as I said, we can also just duplicate it. So we have a second one that goes, so we're good here. That should restart.
The fertile island has a lot more to offer than coffee. The widow of a friendly grower, may the poor devil rest in peace, has been planting sugarcane lately. Make the lady happy by providing her with your services.
Okay, so let's accept that.
The sugar must be transported to town. From there it is shipped and then served when continental Europeans get together for coffee.
Okay, so sugar. So this is a new one here. And we need to deliver it here, as you can see. This is the other need. Our buses are working nicely, as you can see. There's people waiting. So we could even have more of those buses going around. Or make them wait a bit more. One thing we may want to check is where do we need to deliver this? And to do that, right, we can also again go this, and we can see it needs to be delivered here to this area. So now we have a couple of ways to do that, right? One could be a train station over here. One could be a train station over here, and then a truck that goes across. You want to minimize as much as possible the, say, pollution. So you want to minimize people going across the road. So maybe the, having the train here is probably a good idea. You can see it seems to be able to cover most of it from there, where we won't even need potentially a truck. So let's see if that managed to work.
Traffic is flowing full
Oh.
steam ahead. The plantation business is developing magnificently. In light of all this success, the incumbent governor is thinking of moving back to his Dutch homeland in good time. Thanks to your outstanding work, you have a good chance of inheriting his post.
Perfect. Let's still continue playing to finish that last one, as we're talking about. Perfect. Because we don't need multiple lines. What we just need is, like before, a small place where they can meet. Maybe a bit longer. Our trains are not that long right now, man. It's fine. This is also where you can put several. I'm gonna show you. You can have several trains waiting, and then we do need some point one that goes over here. Oh, what's happening? I think it's because of the elevation. Okay, something like this. Put another train. So I'm not saying this is optimized at all, right? Like this is a lot of train stations and things like this, but this will do for a tutorial mission like this. Okay, we already have a train depot here, so what we just need is a new line. We'll go from here to here. We need it to wait for loads here. Okay, this is my forward sugar, I think it was. Can buy a train. Let's buy this one. Sugar. Put it on the sugar. And right now we still need to add signals. So I was saying, you know, you don't have to put just one. What you can do is have several. For example, one there should be fine. And then, you know, one there and one there. And then we could have even more than two trains with something like this. Let's see if that's working properly. Yes, the train is going. The other one is over there. While our first train of sugar, comes in, we can also take a quick look at our profitability. See that the coffee fruit train is making a lot of money. All of these, wait, where are we? In May. So they're not making that much. Now it's negative actually. It could be, so there's a couple of reasons why. It could be just because that line is not optimized. As you can see, we're waiting for fruit. Another reason could be because those trains, I didn't put maintenance on it, so they could be in bad shape. But no, that's okay, good, it's not too bad. Another could just be, you know, this is just not worth it, let's say. I'd like the time that it takes to go back and forth with those trains. It's just not worth it for what they're ready to give me as and money. But anyway, it's now making money, it's just delivered, so that's fine. This one definitely isn't, because there's not enough passengers to fill it. And that's one thing around the money, is usually if you're, you know, not going at full capacity, then you're probably not making great money. This one is just starting. It hasn't delivered yet, I think. Which could be why it's not making money, or once again, it could just be that it's just not profitable. And but now we delivered, we are in positive. Now what we need to see is the next time, because I think it was the first time that it came, but now it's going to cost us, as you can see, maintenance on that way and on the other way, all right? So it could still be negative. So that's also why you usually don't want to be doing halfway empty. You want to take something from here to deliver it here, but then maybe take something else to deliver it potentially here, then from here to go there. In this map, that's super hard because the two base resources are on that side and the two delivery side on this side. So it's very hard to do that. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen, that was mission 2. Hope you liked it. Don't hesitate to press the like button if you did, share any thoughts, feedback, and hope to see you next time for the third mission in this campaign.